Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome to MUFC MPB. It's your host, Aaron Chakaya, and I'm here to talk about the game that is happening this weekend. We are going to play Aston Villa away from home on Sunday. Just want to preview the game a little bit, talk about the game a little bit, talk about what we've done right, touch on the previous game as well, the West Ham game. So before we do all of that, people, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, make sure you share, comment, all of that good stuff, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because remember, the algorithm helps this channel build itself up where it needs to be. So make sure you do all of these things for us, please. The West Ham game, let's touch on it just a tiny little bit before we go into the preview of the Aston Villa game. It was a good game, man. It was a good game to have two wins on the bounce. Obviously, the Wolves game, prior to that, we won that one 4-3. I was a bit critical when we won against Wolves, because I was like, well, this is just another last minute win. Are we going to learn from this? And it seems like we did, because West Ham, even though they weren't amazing and even though we weren't amazing, we kind of limited their attacks a lot. Bowen wasn't really in the game. Kudus, which, I know just came back from AFCON. He wasn't really firing. Obviously, they've got injuries here and there. Ben Rama wasn't there. He's gone to Lyon. Antonio's still injured. So we really managed to limit their attacks. But towards the end, they got through a couple of times. So we need to be careful, because Aston Villa will not spare us when it comes to these things. They will not spare Manchester United's defence at all. So I think it was a good result. Like I said, 2 wins on the bounce. It's going to give the boys confidence, and hopefully in the next game, this is what is going to happen. So talking about the Aston Villa game, I know they just lost against Chelsea in the FA Cup, but something tells me that they don't really want to pay attention to that. It's not really their priority, even though I know someone like Unai Emery will be frustrated with that loss. I don't think he really cares about this. I think his eyes are more focused on the Conference League. I think Aston Villa are genuinely a shout to win this. They're genuinely a contender to win this. And, for English football, of course, this could be a good thing, because this could be the second English team in a row to win this tournament. So, yeah, I wouldn't take this Chelsea loss at face value, I wouldn't draw too many conclusions, because Aston Villa will lose that one, which they did, of course, and they can come back and do a madness against us, because I'm looking at their current form, and the last win in the Premier League came against Burnley on the 30th of December. So it's been a while since they've won a game in the Premier League, and I know for a fact that Unai Emery is not going to be happy with that. He's not going to be happy with that at all. After that win against Burnley came a 0-0 draw against Everton away. They lost 3-1 at home against Newcastle, and I'm telling a lie, they won 5-0 against Sheffield United. That's my bad for that. But prior to that win against Sheffield United, it's been a while since they won a game in the Premier League, so they will look to continue that brilliant form in the Premier League. They scored 5 goals against them, and some of these goals, I watched the highlights as well. I didn't manage to catch the whole game, but some of these goals were amazing, and this just very devastating. One mistake from the Sheffield United defence, boom, straight away punished them. Bailey punished them. Tielemans punished them. Who else? Watkins punished them. So we need to be careful with this attack, because I'm looking at their lineup in the previous game against Sheffield United, and I'm looking at that front line. Even though Sheffield United played a 5-4-1, they still punished that defence severely. Do you know what I mean? They played in a 4-4-1, 4-4-1-1, Aston Villa, with McGinn on the wing, Bailey on the wing, Luiz in the middle with Kamara, Tielemans in the number 10, and Watkins up front. So we need to be careful. And even someone like Moreno, their left back, got a goal. So we need to be careful with mistakes at the back, because they can punish you instantly. And on the bench, they can bring on the likes of Diaby, they can bring on the likes of Ramsey. So we need to be careful. This game is not going to be as straightforward, and we all know what happened in the last game. Yes, we won 3-2, but I said we need to be careful with those kind of wins, because in isolation they mean a lot, but in the long run you can't keep doing this. It's not going to happen every week that you're gonna have a last minute win against this team or that team. Do you see what I mean? So it's going to be up to the defense to not make any mistakes at the back, because like I said, they can punish you instantly. And the way Villa punish people, their finishing against Sheffield United was immaculate. It was clinical. There was no hesitation. It was a straight boom finish goal. Do you see what I mean? So let's talk about Højlund a little bit. Højlund's been on a good run of form, and I've been happy with him. And a lot of people think that I've been criticizing him and saying that I don't want him in the team, which is wrong. The only thing that I said about Højlund was he needed to change the way he plays football, which was mostly the way he played football at Man United until that point until he started changing it. Very much consisted of him always backing into players, always wrestling with players, always fighting with players, not in the actual literal sense of the word, but just wrestling with defenders all the time. And I'm just like, yes, you're big. Yes, you're a big guy. You're strong. 6'3", all of that. I hear it. But try something different. Try something else. Try something else. And lo and behold, he's running into the channels now. He's dropping deep, linking up play. He's getting himself into positions more. He's not late. He's not on the back foot. He's not a millisecond late. He's not a tenth of a second late. He's at the right time now. And I'm not saying that he's the finished article. I'm not saying it's the finished product. He still needs to improve on a lot of things, and I'm going to continue to be harsh on him because I can see a player in him. And if we just sugarcoat players all the time, they're not going to learn. They're not going to learn. So we need to be critical even when things go well. There always needs to be stuff to improve on. And that's not me being negative. Doesn't mean I'm negative, because even Ten Hag, who I'm not a big fan of, says the same thing. Even when we win, he says there's things to improve on. So if a manager can say that, so can we. So Højlund, I've been happy with him so far. I hope he can continue the great goal scoring form. The goal he scored against West Ham was a very good one. It's a very, very good one. Out of his feet, bang. And he seems to have a thing with just rifling balls into the back of the net. Like, I don't know why he does that, but listen, if you're going to do that to me, that's absolutely fine, innit? Right foot as well, which is his weaker foot. But overall, I'm just very happy with the way he's been scoring goals. It's good for his confidence. Just, try and think of a different celebration, because the one against West Ham was a bit, that's all I'm going to say. But I'm very happy with Højlund so far, and hopefully he can carry it on, man. Hopefully he can carry it on, because ultimately, if a player can prove me wrong, then so be it. I'm going to get into the lineup. How I think Manchester United should line up against Aston Villa. And you know what they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I would start the same lineup, which is Onana in goal, a back four of Dalot, Maguire. Obviously, Martinez is out injured, so Varane's going to have to come in. And Luke Shaw is going to play as a left back. There might be a few changes, maybe because of Luke Shaw's defensive issues. Ten Hag might opt for Luke Shaw to play as a left centre back, and for someone else to come in on the left. So it might be a thing where maybe Wan-Bissaka comes in and maybe Dalot goes to the left. It might be a thing like that. Then we've got the star boy, the man himself, the man of the moment, the man of the previous weeks. Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro in the double pivot, Garnacho on the right, Bruno Fernandes in the 10, Rashford on the left, and of course Højlund up front. Kobbie Mainoo, man, I want to talk about him a little bit. Kobbie Mainoo's been an absolute outstanding player for us. And I'm not surprised at all, because the kid is unbelievable. You don't need stats to tell that this kid is going to be an absolute baller in the future and for years to come, because the touch is there, the awareness is there, the flair is there. He's 18 years of age, but plays like a 26-year-old. I'm not going to say the experience is there, but the know-how is there. Do you see what I mean? And I think the goal he scored against Wolves perfectly embodies that. It's not the goal that he scored, but it's the way he scored it. The nutmeg, the shimmy, get into the box, wrap it into the bottom corner. These things can't be taught. You either have them or you don't. Do you see what I mean? So Kobbie Mainoo's been an absolute star for us, and I don't want to hail him up too much, even though in my head he is an absolute baller. I don't want to hail him up too much, because I want Kobbie Mainoo to be Kobbie Mainoo. I've seen the comparisons. I've seen he reminds me of Seedorf, and I've seen it. And I hear it because we're gassed. We're United fans. That's fine. But we just need to be careful with not gassing them up too much. Let's let Kobbie be Kobbie. Do you see what I mean? Let him be himself, and let him build his own path. Let him build his own let him build his own legacy at Manchester United. So Kobbie Mainoo, man, I just wish him all the best, and I want him to continue that great form. Obviously, England's knocking on the door now. Apparently Southgate's interested in bringing him into the England team and maybe play a friendly or play a qualifying game with England. We don't know. We're going to have to see and wait and see what happens. But if it was up to me, and if I had the chance to speak to Kobbie Mainoo, I would tell him, listen, pick the motherland, because for me, there's nothing better than to play for your country of origin. In my opinion, that's just me. So I would opt to play for Ghana. I think if Ghana was to qualify for the next World Cup in 2026, there would be so much more freedom for him to express himself. There would be so much more freedom for Kobbie to express himself as a player. I think if he plays for England, his talent will be stifled so much, man, because of the negative football that Southgate plays. So many players in the England team don't get to show their real talent, don't get to show what they're really about, because of Southgate's tactics and because of the negative approach that Southgate has towards this England team. And that's like that. It's like that with a lot of players, with people like Saka, people like Grealish. Like, we don't really get to see what these guys are about because they're either being played in the wrong position or they're being restricted. So because of those restrictions, I wouldn't want Kobbie Mainoo to be anywhere near this England team if it was up to me. But that's just me, innit? So I'm expecting Kobbie to keep shining and to keep doing well, man. What would I like to see in this game? I would just like to see us being compact at the back, because like I said, Villa can punish you. They're playing at home as well, so the fans are going to be behind them. So you have to be careful with that. We need to be compact at the back. We need to take our chances at the front. No messing about. If you got a chance, take it, finish it, be clinical, be ruthless. Do you know what I mean? You can't be messing about, missing chance after chance after chance. And you know what happens in football. If you miss your chances, someone else will finish them for you at the other end. So we need to finish our chances, and we need to make sure that we do what we have to do. Even if it's because at this point, I'm not worried about the football anymore. Yes, it's going to annoy me if we lose, but at this point, we just need to get results. Because personally, when it comes to style of play, I think it's too late to try and implement something now, because it hasn't worked this season. It really hasn't. So to try and implement something now wouldn't work for me. So just be clinical. Get the result done. Do you know what I mean? Just get us a good result. That's all I'm asking for. So yeah, my score prediction is probably going to be, I'm going to say 2-1 Manchester United. A good away win. Get the 3 points. Climb up the table. Try and get for those European spots. I don't know if 5th gets us Champions League in the Premier League. I don't think it does, because we've lost a couple of places since a lot of people crashed out of the Champions League, us and Newcastle. So I don't think we're going to get Champions League with the 5th spot. I'm really trying to think, but I don't think we do. Anyway, I don't think top 4 is going to happen for us. So hey, listen, at least qualify for something, innit? At least qualify for something. But guys, you know exactly what to do. Please like, share, comment, do all of that good stuff. Notification bell as well, because we've got videos coming out throughout the whole week. Make sure you put the notification bell on so you know exactly when we post, what time we post at, and you can do your sharing and your commenting and watching. So please, guys, make sure you remember that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, notification bell, and all of these good things. Apart from that, people, make sure you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye bye. Take care. Peace.